Low to mid 60s, actually some upper 60s across Deep East Texas. So it is a little bit on the humid side as we move into this morning and for the rest of this afternoon. Definitely going to be a t-shirt weather, that is for sure. We'll be hot with highs in the upper 80s to low 90s. Lots of sunshine to go around here. And for your forecast, we got some cooler temperatures on the way for Thursday and Friday as some much cooler air ushers in from the north, and then we will be rebounding back into the middle to upper 80s for Saturday and Sunday. I'll show you what the rest of your 7-day forecast looks like coming up in just about 15 minutes.
All right, Joel, thanks so much. As you get ready to drop off your kids in school, either in Edgewood or Canton this morning, you'll likely notice more security around campus.
Yeah, this comes after a student reportedly made threats targeting the two East Texas school districts. Law enforcement and school officials have launched an immediate investigation, and they are working closely together to assess the situation. Both districts have already increased security measures to make sure that students and staff are protected. District leaders stress that they are taking these threats seriously and are committed to maintaining a safe learning environment. No further details are being released right now out of respect for the investigation and those involved.
In Tyler, a deadly crash involving two motorcycles left one man dead. It happened early Tuesday morning on the west-northwest Loop 323 near Point North Drive. Tyler police say two motorcycles were found down in the westbound lanes, but it's still unclear if other vehicles were involved. A 20-year-old man was rushed to the hospital where he later died. His identity has not been released yet.
Investigators in Gregg County are trying to identify what's believed to be a human skull and a bone discovered on a quiet stretch of land near Liberty City. The Gregg County Sheriff's Office says a landowner found that human skull on Goforth Road back on September 27th. And then this week, search teams with cadaver dogs uncovered a second bone fragment nearby. The remains are too decomposed to identify. So far, they have not been linked to any known missing persons cases in the area.
Well, time is running out for Robert Robertson, the East Texas man on death row. New claims of judicial misconduct are now raising serious questions just days before his execution. Robertson is set to die on October 16th for the 2003 death of his 2-year-old daughter, Nikki. But now his attorneys are pointing to those new details. They warrant a new trial. A new Dateline NBC podcast includes Nikki's grandfather, who says his family, not Robertson, decided when to remove Nikki from life support. Robertson's lawyers argue that decision violated his parental rights and may have influenced the outcome of this case, and they're calling on the courts to act before it's too late.
We are learning more about funeral plans for 17-year-old Caden Nelson, the Nacogdoches County teen who died in an ATV crash over the weekend. Nelson was riding on private property in Etoile on Sunday afternoon when the crash happened. She was a student at Woden High School and had previously survived a rare aggressive cancer, first diagnosed when she was just 10 years old. Visitation will be held Friday evening from 5 to 8 p.m. Her funeral is scheduled for Saturday morning at 10 at Fredonia Hill Baptist Church in Nacogdoches.
Meanwhile, the Texas Rangers are still investigating this morning after a fatal shooting involving a Gregg County deputy in Gladewater. Happened around 10:30 Monday night at a Sonic. According to the Gregg County Sheriff's Office, deputies in Gladewater Police tried to pull over 43-year-old Amanda Allen, who was suspected of drug trafficking, but instead of stopping, Allen sped off and rammed a patrol unit trying to escape. That's when a deputy fired his weapon to protect other officers on the scene. Allen was taken to the hospital, but she died from her injuries. The deputy who fired the shot has been placed on administrative leave as this investigation is ongoing. Multiple agencies, including the Gladewater Police, DPS, and the DEA, remain involved as authorities work together to piece exactly what happened.
Well, if you owe Smith County some court fees or fines, you may want to listen up.
Smith County is holding its warrant solution program, offering those with arrest warrants for outstanding court fees and fines a chance to pay them before being arrested.
If you have any outstanding warrants, you should have received a notice. It looks like this one right here. The county has sent out over 5,000 notifications to people who can settle their debt without being arrested. The warrant solution program will only be available, though, until October 16th.
If you have an outstanding case that is in delinquent or warrant status for not fulfilling your obligation to the county for court fees or fines, whether it is a citation, a misdemeanor, or a felony, you need to reach out to the Purdue Brandon Law Firm or the Judicial Compliance Department.
Payments can be made at the Smith County Clerk's office located on the 3rd floor of the Courthouse Annex downtown or at any local Justice of the Peace offices.
7:07 this morning, taking a live look over the U.S. Capitol this morning as negotiations are expected to continue all morning long and throughout the day. Now, amid this government shutdown, President Trump suggested that some federal workers don't deserve back pay.
Yeah, the president also said that he'll soon announce which government programs he intends to permanently eliminate. Cheryl Hubbard has more.
A stalemate in Congress continues as lawmakers still haven't reached a funding deal, and the federal government remains shut down after nearly a week. Now, President Donald Trump signaling that some furloughed federal workers' back pay may be in jeopardy.
I would say it depends on who we're talking about. I can tell you this, the Democrats have put a lot of people in great risk and jeopardy, but it really depends on who you're talking about. But for the most part, we're going to take care of our people. There are some people that really don't deserve to be taken care of, and we'll take care of them in a different way.
He did not elaborate on who would or would not receive payment. Trump also said he'd announce a list of government programs he intends to permanently eliminate amid the shutdown. The Trump administration has made it clear that they see a shutdown as an opportunity to shrink the size of the federal government.
I can tell you people in New Jersey, but around this country, are just sick and tired of these mob boss tactics.
Democratic lawmaker Andy Kim called out the administration for such tactics. But Democrats and Republicans agree that workers should be paid for the work they do.
And the law is clear. Every single furloughed federal employee is entitled to back pay. Period. Full stop.
My assumption is that furloughed workers will get back pay. But that being said, this is very simple. Open up the government. And this is a non-issue. We don't have to have this conversation. Everybody gets paid when the government is open.
I'm Cheryl Hubbard reporting.
Well, at the center of the shutdown, Republicans are still pushing for essentially an extension of current funding levels, and Democrats continue to focus on health care, calling it to extend that enhanced Obamacare subsidies that were set to expire at the end of the year. Now, during this time, tens of thousands of federal workers, except for those who are deemed essential, do not receive pay, but the president and lawmakers do. Soon, former FBI Director James Comey will make his first appearance in a Virginia court to be arraigned on federal charges. Comey says he is innocent, and he has vowed to take the case to trial.
Yeah, and just yesterday, Attorney General Pam Bondi faced tough questions herself over the case and President Trump's public calls for Comey's prosecution. At a U.S. Senate hearing, CBS News' Mallory Brent has more on this case and what we can expect from Washington today.
This morning, former FBI Director James Comey is set to take on the Justice Department he once served. He's charged with obstruction of justice and making false statements related to 5-year-old Senate testimony during which he denied authorizing leaks to the media.
I'm innocent, so let's have a trial.
The indictment last month came days after the president on social media pressured Attorney General Pam Bondi to prosecute Comey and political rivals, declaring justice must be served.
I think he's a crooked guy. He's a dirty cop.
During a heated hearing on Capitol Hill Tuesday, Bondi refused to answer questions about the Comey case, and she denied the president's social media post was a directive.
President Trump is the most transparent president in American history, and I don't think he said anything that he hasn't said for years.
I think this is a tough case.
CBS News legal analyst Jessica Levinson says perjury and obstruction can be difficult charges to prove.
Depending on what a judge allows, James Comey could argue that he is just the victim of a political prosecution.
New interim U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia, Lindsay Halligan, is handling the case along with 2 assistant U.S. attorneys from North Carolina after recent firings and resignations in the office. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, Washington.
Well, today's arraignment hearing was originally scheduled for tomorrow, but the judge in the Comey case, a Biden appointee, moved it up a day due to expected crowds and security concerns at the courthouse.
Well, yesterday marked 2 years since Hamas attacked Israeli forces. As negotiations to finalize a deal based on President Donald Trump's Gaza ceasefire plan are underway now in Egypt. Officials say Israel and Hamas have made progress during the first 2 days of discussions. Hamas is seeking guarantees that Israel will not return to war if hostages are released, and talks have focused on details of a possible prisoner exchange. The meetings come as Israelis and Palestinians mark 2 years since the October 7th attack by Hamas. Meanwhile, new video appears to show Israeli forces intercepting the Gaza Sunbird, one of several ships trying to deliver aid to Gaza. Now, in the video, armed individuals can be seen boarding the ship as crew members sit in the rear before the live stream camera is struck and goes dark. Israel's foreign ministry called the flotilla a futile attempt to breach its naval blockade, saying the ships were diverted to an Israeli port and passengers will be deported.
7:12 this morning, time now for your morning headlines. Hundreds of National Guard troops from Texas are in Illinois this morning. They were spotted yesterday carrying unloaded rifles and gas masks. CBS News has learned the troops could begin their assignments in Chicago streets as early as today. And the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago have filed a lawsuit seeking to block the troop deployment. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump is calling for an investigation into Senator Richard Blumenthal. He made a comment on Truth Social after Blumenthal clashed with Attorney General Pam Bondi during a Senate hearing. Trump referenced a 2010 controversy when Blumenthal admitted he served during the Vietnam War, not in the Vietnam War. In response, Blumenthal said he cleared up things that mattered years ago and noted voters have reelected him 3 times since. Tesla is rolling out with cheaper versions of its most popular models. The company announced the new standard version of its Model 3 and Model Y, both costing less than their premium counterparts. Tesla says the price cuts come as the federal government phases out a $7,500 tax credit for electric vehicles. Now, the Model 3 standard will start at about $38,000, while the Model Y standard costs you about $41,000. And the price of gold is soaring to a new record today, topping $4,000 on an ounce for the first time. This precious metal is back on track for its best year since 1979, up more than 50% so far. Investors often turn gold as a safe haven during times of economic uncertainty, including the government shutdown.
I want one of those gold bars bad.
Right? Just one.
Just one. That's all.
That's all we ask.
All right, we're going to take a break from news and weather for just a moment to do our question of the day in honor of National Hero Day. So we'd like to know, who is your hero?
You know, we often talk about, our superheroes and all that, but we're talking about like real life heroes that impact our daily lives. I guess for me right now, just off the cuff, I can think is maybe parents,
Yeah, sure.
They work a lot for what we do and got me to where I am today.
I love that. What about you, Joel?
I would say some good heroes for morning, y'all, this morning are the folks in the control room. I just want to say thank you guys.
Yeah, they work
hard.
Thank
you guys for all your hard
Yay.
work, really. Y'all deserve it.
I have a lot, but I will start out. For me, it's my mom.
Aww.
She's like always there for me. She's been through, we've talked about it a lot, all these cancer diagnoses, and she's constantly a fighter. So she shows me and my kids what it's like. She's a hero for sure. I'm so glad I didn't get teary-eyed.
I
thought for sure when I was thinking about it earlier, I got teary-eyed. I don't think she sees herself as a hero, but to me and the 3 kiddos, that
to everyone around
is what she is. She's always been like this calming force, like level-headed, just so sweet, and I've always wanted to be like her. We're very different in what we like to do and stuff.
Right.
She was in the healthcare field. I like to do this, but I always wanted to be a mom, just like her.
I also wanted to say, like, definitely my dad is a big hero of mine too, because he got, he obviously, both my parents raised me. He got me through college debt-free. So that is really, really nice. So I really appreciate that.
I think I'll be paying off my college until the day I'm no longer here.
Right. I'm still going through that as well.
I'm sorry.
Money could be
but it's okay.
Money could be our hero right now.
Yeah, it could
or
be.
Or that bar gold too.
The lotto, we could win the lotto. Okay.
Oh man.
Maybe one day.
You know who else is our hero right now?
Joel.
Joel. Tell us about this traffic. You're going to save a lot of people's time commute this morning.
There you go, traffic hero. Or guitar hero.
All the above.
All the above. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, things are looking good out there. It is a beautiful start to our Wednesday. Let's get outside to our CBS19 on-scene unit. This morning we are on Grande Boulevard near Holly Tree in Tyler. Things are looking really good out there. Very nice and dry, those roadways. It's a gorgeous morning to get outside. Let's bring you on over to I-20 this morning. Things still in good shape. We got 2 hours over to Dallas and an hour and 30 minutes over to Shreveport so far. things are looking pretty good. Even on US 69, we got 2.5 hours up to Denison and 1 hour and 30 minutes over to Lufkin. And as for some of the other routes out there across some parts of the area, especially looking at Jacksonville to Nacogdoches, that route there is going to be about 50 minutes this morning. Tyler to Longview is a 40-minute commute this morning, and then Tyler to Palestine is 55 minutes, and Tyler to Athens up to 45 minutes. Now, we're really keeping a close eye on visibilities, but things are looking very good. And I think that cold front is really helping us out with bringing in some cooler air just above the surface. So our visibilities right now are really, really nice. And I do expect, thanks to that cold front, we won't see too many areas of fog. So that is some good news there. We got green lights all the way through this morning, I'm giving you. And then green lights through this afternoon. We'll be up to 90 degrees still, but still we'll be expecting some cooler temperatures as we go forward, and I'll show you what that looks like in your forecast coming up.
All right, thanks, Joel. Well, from volleyball to Friday Night Lights, yes, we are gearing up for another big week in Beast Texas sports. Coming up, we break down the matchups and why this week's dogfight could be the game of the year. That's just ahead.
Time for CBS19 Sports.
Morning, y'all. Dan Millay with your sports here. Appreciate you joining us. I'm going to get you all ready for Week 7 of football in Beast, Texas. But first, let's take a trip across the loop over to Tyler High. Lady Lions hosting the Lady Cats of White House for some volleyball. We join in the second set. White House up 16-11. Looked like Tyler High could be mounting a comeback here, though, as the Lady Cats' Ellie Cooley is met up at the net by the Lady Lions' Anaya Hansen. Home fans saying, all right, Tyler High, let's go on a run here. But White House would punch right back. Kendall Bosick sets it up for Veda Hawker. A couple Lady Lions there, but they block it out of play, and the Lady Cats are going back to work, and work they will as Trinity Stevenson serves up the ace. Tyler High can't return that, so White House just keeps the ball rolling. Stevenson on the serve once again. This time, the Lady Lions get a volley going. Jaslyn Duran bumps it up to Sanaya Warren, but Veda Hawker's waiting there and says, no, 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 not today. Later on, Anna Sowell bumps it up to Bostic, who sets it up for, guess who? Veda Hawker. Just a one-woman wrecking crew last night in the Lady Lions den. Looking to close things out, it's Ava Wise on the serve for White House. Put some serious topspin on that ball. Nothing Tyler High can do about it. Finally, Wise on the serve once again. Looks like Tyler High could be mounting a return volley, but instead, the spike attempt falls short. White House wins this second set 25-14 and takes the match in straight sets, improving to 27-12 on the season. Switching gears to the gridiron, we've got another electric Thursday Night Live matchup for y'all coming up on CBS 19 Plus. 4-2 Union Grove hitting the road to take on a 3-3 Ore City team. The Lions started the year off hot with 3 straight wins, but they've lost 2 of their last 3 against a couple really good teams in Wascom and Elysian Fields. The Rebels, meanwhile, are trying to get back over 500. They've lost 2 straight after starting their season strong at 3-1. So make sure to tune in and join Jimmy Searfoss Thursday night at 7 on CBS 19 Plus. He'll have the call from Rebel Stadium in the city on the Iron Hill. Looking at our game of the week, it's another battle of the Bulldogs. A dogfight, if you will. 5-1 Kilgore hosting 4-2 Chapel Hill. Starting with the visiting team, Chapel Hill's coming off a big-time get-right game. How about a 72-28 win over Palestine after back-to-back losses to Lindale and Carthage? Both top 3 teams in our Beast Texas Fab 15. The quarterback, Malik G, threw for 4 touchdowns in that one, and the rushing attack added 4 more house calls on top of that. Only issue for Chapel Hill, they've lost to 2 of the top 3 teams on our Fab 15 already. Well, the other team in there they haven't played yet is second-ranked Kilgore, and these Bulldogs in red have been an absolute buzzsaw this year after dropping their first game of the season to Carthage, which, let's all be honest, hardly counts. They've been unstoppable. Their most recent victim was Henderson, and although they won that game just 27-12, they really dominated between the lines. Finally, our Under the Lights kickoff show sight game. We're staying home. Jimmy Searfoss and I will be live from beautiful Christus Trinity Mother Frances Rose Stadium for Tyler High hosting Cleburne in a district showdown. Now, the Lions will come into this game with a record of just 2-4, but there's some important context that comes with that. 3 of Tyler High's 4 losses have come by a touchdown or less. They've been in just about every game they've played this season. Join Jimmy and I for the kickoff show Friday at 6:30. Then come on back at 10 when we'll have all the highlights from across Beast, Texas. In Major League Baseball postseason action, Mariners in Detroit trying to take a 2-0 series lead, or a 2-1 series lead, as Eugenio Suarez turns a 2-0 Seattle advantage to 3-0. Later on, the future AL MVP runner-up Cal Raleigh stings a ball through the middle to drive in another run. Mariners go on to take this game 8-4. They can win this series with another road win tomorrow, or I should say today, at 2. And finally in New York, after being down 6-1 early, Aaron Judge saves the Yankees season. 3-run home run, tie game. The Bronx is on fire. That is my captain, folks. The greatest right-handed hitter of all time comes through in the absolute biggest way. Momentum finally on the Bombers' side, and Jazz Chisholm Jr. just makes it all the sweeter. Yanks go on to win this game 9-6, and there will be a Game 4 tonight in the Bronx. But that's all the time we have for sports. Morning, y'all. Back to y'all.
Yawning over here.
Wake it up.
I'm trying to wake up. All right, I need
Where's
more
your coffee?
I got tea this morning. That's what happened.
What's the problem?
All right, we're just about to step away for a moment. I'm going to get a coffee refill, or my first cup. In the meantime, we're going to do our over-the-air broadcast break-in with a quick news update.
Yes, we will be right back with more here on CBS 19 Plus. Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon.
And I'm Jesus Martinez. Thank you so much for being with us for this news update. Well, the Texas Rangers are investigating this morning a fatal shooting involving a Gray County deputy in Gladewater. It happened around 10:30 Monday night near the Sonic. According to the Gray County Sheriff's Office, deputies and Gladewater police tried to pull over 43-year-old Amanda Allen, who was suspected of drug trafficking. Now, instead of stopping, Allen sped off and rammed a patrol unit trying to escape. That's when a deputy fired his weapon to protect the other officers on the scene. Allen was taken to the hospital, but she died from her injuries there. The deputy who fired the shot has been placed on administrative leave while the investigation is ongoing. And right now, multiple agencies, including the Gladewater Police, DPS, and DEA, remain involved as authorities work together to piece exactly what happened. Also, investigators in Gray County are trying to identify what's believed to be a human skull and bone discovered on a quiet stretch of land near Liberty City. The Gray County Sheriff's Office says a landowner found the skull on Goforth Road back on September 27th, and this week, search teams with Cavender dogs and uncovered a second bone, a fragment nearby. We're told that the remains were too decomposed to identify, and they've been sent to an anthropology lab in Dallas for analysis. So far, those remains have not been linked to any known missing persons case in the area.
Well, if you owe Smith County some court fees or fines, you may want to listen up.
Smith County is holding its warrant solution program, offering those with arrest warrants for outstanding court fees and fines a chance to pay them before being arrested.
If you have an outstanding warrant, you should have received a notice. The county has sent over 5,000 notifications to people who can settle their debt without being arrested. The warrant solution program is only available until October 16th.
If you have an outstanding case that is in delinquent or warrant status for not fulfilling your obligation to the county for court fees or fines, whether it is a citation, a misdemeanor, or a felony, you need to reach out to the Purdue Brandon Law Firm or the Judicial Compliance Department.
Payments can be made at the Smith County Clerk's Office or at any local justice of the peace offices. All righty, let's get a check of your weather now.
It's going to be a beautiful one. There you go. Here's your weather for this morning. We are going to be beautiful for basically all day. We are going to be definitely on the warm side, that is for sure. But if you want to get up for a run, definitely make sure you do it in the morning or just make it quick, especially as we go into this afternoon. We are going to be much toastier as we move into this afternoon. And on top of that, we're going to be dry. We got a low to moderate, even high-end fire risk, especially if you live within Nacogdoches County. Lufkin and Crockett, just to name a few areas within that high risk, is best not to burn anything. Plus, there are some burn bans that go until further notice across parts of Deep East Texas. On top of that, we are going to be very, very nice, especially when it comes to our humidity going into the next several days, even through your weekend, thanks to a cold front. Not only are we going to see some cooler temperatures, but that humidity also going to be very nice. Your 7-day forecast shows that drop in temperatures going into Thursday, Friday, and then a ridge of high pressure does kind of rain on our parade a little bit as we go into next week.
Welcome back to Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus. This is what's coming up in our second half hour. Governor Greg Abbott is stepping up enforcement on hemp products across the state. We'll have details on how the crackdown will work and what it means for businesses here in the Lone Star State.
And it's a flavor that brings families and cultures together. Chile, from red to green and everything in between. One Tyler restaurant is celebrating its power during Hispanic Heritage Month. We take you inside the kitchen later in the show.
And folks, it may be hot and steamy for today, but we will be in for some cooler temperatures over the next couple days thanks to a cold front that has finally moved through the area. I'll show you what that 7-day forecast looks like coming up. Morning, y'all.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
It is a good morning, y'all. Thanks for staying with us here on CBS 19 Plus. I'm Dana Dixon.
And I'm Jesus Martinez. I need to up my Pepe game this morning.
Come on, you got this.
All right, let's get to the news this morning. All right, well, Governor Greg Abbott is directing Texas DPS to toughen enforcement of the state's new hemp-related rules and regulations. He wants DPS troopers to crack down on vape and smoke shops that are not in compliance with state law. This will include inspections and undercover operations to identify unlawful activity like selling hemp products to underage customers. Now, the crackdown comes a month after Governor Abbott issued an executive order telling federal agencies to take action to protect children from hemp-derived products.
The trial for a former Uvalde CISD officer has been set for next year, but not in Uvalde. Adrian Gonzalez is charged with 29 counts of child endangerment for his response to the Robb Elementary School shooting. Gonzalez and former Uvalde Police Chief Pete Arredondo are the only officers charged in connection with the shooting, which killed 19 children and 2 teachers. Arredondo's case is currently on hold. Both officers have pleaded not guilty. Texas Education Savings Accounts, also known as school vouchers, now have an official name, the Texas Education Freedom Accounts, or TEFAs. The Texas Comptroller's Office is working with the tech company Odyssey to launch that program. Now, Texas plans to roll out the school choice initiative in time for the next school year. It allows eligible families to apply and use taxpayer money to pay for private school tuition and other educational costs. Odyssey will manage the platform with applications expected to open early next year. And according to the Comptroller's Office, that is, Odyssey manages similar platforms in 5 other states. As we continue to celebrate and highlight Hispanic Heritage Month, one ingredient has been a staple in countless dishes that I'm going to have, but not so much Jesus.
No.
Chile.
Yeah, from jalapenos, not my forte, to poblanos. It comes in so many forms, right? CBS 19's Ayana Air takes us inside a One Tyler restaurant that's been putting Chile at the heart of every dish for nearly 2 decades now.
In Hispanic culture, one ingredient appears in many forms and in every flavor imaginable.
And this one is a chile serrano, which those 2 we use for the enchiladas verdes, and then these are chile de árbol, and then this is a chile guajillo. And
Chile, one simple ingredient that's both central and diverse in Hispanic cooking. Taqueria Palacios has been a staple in Tyler for 18 years. And Chile is at the heart of almost everything on the menu and for this family.
We couldn't cook any dishes.
Without that spice.
People like spicy. I want to say most Mexicans like spicy food. I know I do.
Chile is one of the oldest cultivated crops in the Americas in what now is modern-day Mexico. For centuries, it's transformed simple ingredients into rich cultural experiences in many different countries. It's full of flavor, identity, pride, and community.
I feel like food brings everybody together because no matter how maybe angry you are with somebody, you just make up with something to eat.
All right, y'all, so right now I have enchiladas verde and enchiladas rojas, and it all comes down to one ingredient. One is used with red chile and the other one is used with green chile. Now let's give it a try. Wow, it's really good. Okay, now we're gonna try the enchiladas rojas. Now the red chile is a little bit less spicy in my opinion, but it's still packed with flavor and just really good. And again, I feel like it just brings the whole enchilada plate together.
As you can see, I enjoyed every bite. And during Hispanic Heritage Month, dishes like these help us celebrate the roots, the stories, and the spices that bring culture to life.
Hispanic Heritage Month means to us that we get to share a little bit of our culture with everybody else who comes and eats here, and just get to enjoy our food that we love and eat every day.
In Tyler, I'm Ayana Aird, CBS 19.
Looks good for sure. Hey, something else that's going to be good and great is our Hispanic Heritage Month special. It's airing this Sunday, October 12th at 7 a.m. on CBS 19. And of course, you can stream it anytime on CBS 19 Plus.
You do like poblanos, though.
I do. As long as it's not spicy,
You're good. For me, as long as it is spicy, bring it on.
And we're good.
She talked about Serranos. I love Serranos. All right, other things trending today. First up, believe it or not, shopping malls are older than some of us. Yes, today we are celebrating 69 years since the first enclosed mall opened its doors. That was in Southdale Mall in suburban Minneapolis, the brainchild of Dayton's department store owner, Donald Dayton. He wanted a warm indoor space for shoppers during the city's brutal winters. Opening with 72 stores, a skating rink, a giant bird cage, and even a post office, Southdale set the standard for malls everywhere. Today, it's still thriving, and yes, malls are still huge in other parts of the world, even if the U.S. loves to call them dying. I love a mall.
I like them all too.
Yeah, malls.
And they mentioned something I was going to talk about too, how these malls are dying. And I thought they were. I haven't been to a mall since maybe college.
Really?
Yeah.
I still go all the time.
And so I went recently, like maybe 2 weeks ago, to Townies Mall in Mesquite, where the area where I'm from. I think it was packed busier than I remember as a kid.
I think it's changed. I think there's maybe a turning of the tide. I'm not for sure. I mean, I obviously don't study that, but it's been busy when I've been to some too. And so as a kid, that's where our parents would drop us off, and we would go and we would shop and just
hang out.
I loved it.
Everything was indoors.
Yeah, all the malls by me were a little bit further away, but they were always really fun growing up to go to. And it's funny, it all has to do with the weather up north, and that's why it's just like indoors, right? And then you got outdoor malls further to the south.
Right.
Sure, like a lot in the South. California has a lot of outdoor malls as well. I still do much better if I shop at a mall because I need to try it on. Every time I order something online,
you got to return. It's the hassle of going back and forth, back and forth.
It doesn't fit me, so I'm a mall girl.
There is. All right, we'll move over. Chicken nuggets. Arby's just changed the game when it comes to these nuggets with a brand new bite-sized treat for all you steak lovers. It's called the new steak nuggets. They're tender, they're juicy, they're seasoned with garlic and pepper. I felt like that was a wrap, right? Eat them solo, on a sandwich, or even on top of mac and cheese. There's no knife required because they're bite-sized. Fork is optional. You got your fingers, right? Use them. Arby's calls it a perfect mix of America's favorite foods. Steaks and chicken nuggets, ready on an on-the-go snack. It's also a full meal.
I saw that they had like a little sauce. It looks like they've got their own sauce, but I would want the horsey sauce for sure.
I wonder if it's like a steak sauce or like a barbecue sauce.
Probably. It looks like a steak
like
sauce.
like their own version or something like
Have
that.
you ever had their horsey sauce though?
I've never been to Arby's at all.
It's good.
I have not had the horsey sauce, but I have been to Arby's plenty of times.
Yeah, I like just the plain, their roast beef sandwich or whatever, their Arby's sandwich with horsey sauce. It's spicy, so you're probably not gonna like it. But
We'll see. Well, I'll try
the
it.
horsey sauce is spicy. The regular sandwich.
See, I
is
wonder.
not.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Probably know the answer, but I wonder if these can be like cooked to your taste, or if they come in the one size, like.
I mean, it's fast food. I don't
medium
think they're gonna
rares,
ask you.
Do you want, hey, and so how do you want that? Medium rare, well done?
I don't think you get a
No.
choice.
Eat it as it is.
All right, Taylor Swift is back with a brand new album. We've been talking about this since last week, and she is ready for the love and the chaos. Swift's latest release, The Life of a Showgirl, gives fans a peek behind the curtain at her tour life and romance with fiancé Travis Kelce. Yeah, she told Apple Music's Zane Lowe's show that she welcomes all reactions, the good, the bad, and the ugly. According to Swift, any mention of her name or album in the first week only helps her out. I feel like sometimes with Taylor Swift albums too, you have to keep listening to them and then you start to love them, especially the later ones. Because I mean, like her upbeat, peppy stuff, well, I love that. But
that's what she got known for.
The moodier stuff, you have to listen to the lyrics and connect with them and see if you sort of like them.
Some of those lyrics are
racy.
Yes, so brace yourself for this one. There's actually a couple of songs on this album that talks about that actually romantic, talking about how she thinks it's actually romantic, how people obsess and either hate her or love her.
Yeah.
And then there's another one called Canceled, how she likes to see her friends canceled. Just sort of some shade out there with any Taylor Swift drama.
If you go to download the album, it has the E's on there. So if
and it is explicit, but there's also the non-E, so you can listen to those as well.
Right. So.
But yeah, look up there's I can't remember what the website is, but there's one that sort of breaks it down, like what each song and lyric is about. And most aren't what I thought they were about.
Oh,
and so it's interesting. It's like a whole little.
Well, are those people right? Was this?
We'll see. It's open to your interpretation.
I guess
so until we hear from her. We'll
see how
see.
it connects to you personally.
Right.
Pretty and easy to interpret the kind of weather that we're going to have today. It is gorgeous, though, as you look at it. A little warm as you feel it.
Right. As you go outside, you're definitely going to feel that humidity. You're going to feel the warmer temperatures, especially going into this afternoon. We're already off to kind of a warm start because of that humidity. It's a beautiful, beautiful start to the day here in Nacogdoches and here across East Texas. We got some fair weather clouds up across the area and, of course, plenty of blue skies to work with as well. Upper 60s, the low 70s is what we're walking out the door with this morning. We got 67 in Carthage, 68 in Tyler. We also have 69 in Nacogdoches, 71 in Hemp Hill, and then we also have 70 degrees in Lufkin. Dew points, still a little bit on the humid side. We are approaching summer-like levels, and we kind of already still are, especially across deep East Texas. The upper 60s to low 70s is generally where we stand in the summertime. We are watching for these dew points to eventually fall, and when the dew points fall, that's when the humidity starts to drop. And that's something that we're going to be really watching for into tomorrow and especially going into Friday. So again, walking out the door, upper 60s, low 70s, we'll be up to the low 90s for this afternoon. Still very summer-like. Luckily, we got that north-northeast breeze of around 5 to 10, maybe gusting up to 15 miles per hour. That will kind of help us out a little bit, but still going to be a pretty hot day nonetheless. Here's your forecast here. We got temperatures falling back down into the middle 80s, eventually down to the low 80s by Friday thanks to that cold front. And then pesky ridge of high pressure comes back in and puts our temperatures back up into the middle to upper 80s for Saturday and Sunday. And the temperatures will continue to climb from there. I'll show you what that looks like in your full 7-day forecast coming up after the break.
All right. A live look at big techs at the State Fair of Texas. We are more than a week into all this fun right there, which is just enough time to investigate all the reports of sparse crowds out there. It's kind of early, so you wouldn't expect crowds early this morning.
Hopefully not, but I'm sure you've seen those videos on your social media feed. Some suggest the higher prices and the economy are causing people to stay home this year.
Yeah, but as Matt Howerton discovered, that may not tell the whole story.
Very proud of the State Fair.
Longtime content creator Jared Gwines.
A lot of people don't know that the corn dog was actually invented at the State Fair in 1942.
Loves the State Fair of Texas.
I'm like a 150th time visitor.
And during opening weekend and week, he shared to his 166,000 followers on Facebook that something felt off this year.
I couldn't help but notice how scant the crowds were.
Pictures, videos, Gwines documenting a state fair with seemingly no one around.
And I just could not believe I could walk right up to Big Tex and take a photo, do a photo shoot even.
The comment section chimed in.
What I ended up accidentally cracking open was a lot of frustration that people have that they can't go to the fair because of how much it costs.
And that's fair, according to Taylor Pulfer, a spokesperson for the month-long event. She admits the fair isn't cheap if you go all out.
Of course, we've seen the post, and it's disheartening to see. The State Fair of Texas is not immune to whatever is going on in the world, and that, the economy is a piece of that. And so our vendors out here, they set their own prices for things, and so they have to make sure that from a business perspective, it makes sense for them. And you can bring your own food, you can bring your own water. It's choose your own adventure. So you can come out here and do every single free thing that we have, or you can go spend a bunch of money and support all of our vendors.
But money might not be tied to lower attendance so far.
There are some fairs that we stand around for the first 6, 7, 8 days going, when is this thing going to start?
This is Clint Probst's 17th fair as a vendor. This is his lobster mac and cheese lounge. He says the first 10 days usually lean. And attendance data shows that the fair rarely records more than 100,000 visitors consecutively until after its 10th day.
Everyone who's counting on the fair to be a hit, including the fair themselves. Absolutely, I hope that happens.
Gwines not carrying a pitchfork or rooting for the fair to fail, just reporting what his followers are saying. But we truly won't know if this is a down year until the fair releases its final attendance numbers at the end of the month. In Dallas, I'm Matt Howerton.
All right, good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us this morning. I'll add a little bit more fair puns into this forecast. The fair, it's going to be fair for the fair going into this week. It's going to be a little bit on the hot side, and that's the only thing that's unfair about this forecast. Okay, I'll stop. We got this cold front coming in. It's not really, I would call it a cool front for sure. We got some cooler temperatures on the way as we move into the next couple of days. On top of that, we got some lower humidity to work with as well. That's going to be very nice. As we time out your day today, we'll be up to the low to mid 80s by noon. Lots of sunshine overhead, mostly sunny skies as we wear into this afternoon and evening. We'll be up to the upper 80s to low 90s. And again, that humidity is going to be wonderful as we move into Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all the way through your weekend and into parts of next week, potentially down into the pleasant category by Friday. That means dew points are going to be in the 50s, which means really nice and low humidity. That's going to be very, very pleasant as we move into the next couple days. Of course, we're going to be pretty dry, and that's going to drive up our fire danger risk across the area, especially further to the south over Deep East Texas, Nacogdoches County included, Lufkin and Crockett, the city's also included there as well. We got some burn bans still in place until further notice, and because we're not expecting any rain anytime soon, we are expecting these burn bans to continue for quite some time. We are expecting dry conditions all the way through the next 7 days, potentially into the next 10 days, as that ridge of high pressure continues to stick around. So that is something we're going to continue to watch for. We got Tropical Storm Jerry in the tropics now, 50-mile-an-hour sustained winds. It is expected to become a Category 1 hurricane by Thursday, potentially clip the eastern side of the Dominican Republic and move to the north, still remaining at that Category 1 hurricane strength, and it'll eventually move away from the United States, so that's some good news there. All right. Your 7-day forecast here. Temperatures falling into the middle 80s by Thursday, lower 80s by Friday. And then here comes that ridge of high pressure building our temperatures back up in the middle to upper 80s.
All right, Joel, thanks so much. Talking about heroes, right? You're my hero, Joel.
Oh, thank you.
But yeah, our question today is, who is your hero? That's what we're talking about today.
Earlier I said my mom, so for sure. But my kids, they're also my heroes because they inspire me every day, especially, well, all of them. But my kids, you know, the boys, they had a really tough start in life, and I feel like they've kind of overcome all the odds, so they inspire me. And my daughter and all her athletic abilities and always doing all the things inspires me to go, okay, if they can all do it, I can
do it.
Not sleep and do it too.
Right. I think other heroes we haven't talked about so far right now are like maybe the nurses and the doctors as well, first responders out there. So working, maybe 12, 48-hour shifts at a time, off and on. So we appreciate that.
Keep us safe. We appreciate that with our health and just our well-being. It's nice.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. I also want to shout out my fiance. She's been with me through all the ups and downs within the year and 10 months that we've been together. I love her so much. She is definitely one of my heroes for sure.
Oh, that's sweet.
So sweet.
Who else are your heroes?
You're my hero.
Oh, that's sweet.
Dana's busy.
You're my hero. You're my hero.
Everybody's a hero.
Dana is a busy mom. She's busy, busy, busy. And she still finds time to wake up in the morning and do everything she needs to do.
Oh, I'm just thankful to do it all. But yeah, being their mom, easiest job in the world. Hopefully, you know, I think one day you hope that they feel the same way about you that you felt about your mom, and it's like a trickle-down effect.
Yeah, and it makes it easy when you have good kids too.
Oh, I do. They're such
so
sweethearts.
Much easier.
They're teenagers, but they are, for the most part, such sweethearts.
Right. Teenagers are going to be teenagers regardless.
That angst, it just happens no matter what you do. But we were all teenagers once too. You try to remember that. Okay, what did I do back then?
You're right. What did I not want to do? What did I do?
Daryl said his dad was his hero. That's so sweet. Well, thank all your heroes today. It is National Superhero Day.
Yeah.
A few years ago when my mom was really, really going through it, I remember making a post about her on National Superheroes Day. They don't all wear capes. They actually don't. Sometimes they're just the person right next to you, and it can inspire us. Inspire us for sure.
Send them a text, a letter, a message, whatever you want to do, or tell them in person.
I feel like I need to break into Bette Midler's song. You know, the hero song, Did You Ever Know That You Were My Hero? I'm not singing it, but I could for you, but I'm not going to.
We'll play it later.
Yeah,
she can sing off camera later. Alrighty, we're going to step away for a quick moment to do our over-the-air broadcast with a quick news update.
You know, we're going to be right back in just a few here on CBS 19 Plus. Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon.
And I'm Jesus Martinez. Thank you so much for joining us for this news update. Well, if you're dropping off your kids in school today, either in Edgewood or Canton, you likely noticed more security around campus today.
Yeah, this comes after a student reportedly made threats targeting the two East Texas school districts. Law enforcement and school officials have launched an immediate investigation, and they're working closely together to assess the situation. Both districts have already increased security to protect students and staff. District leaders stress that they are taking these threats seriously.
Well, time is running out for Robert Robertson, the East Texas man on death row. New claims of judicial misconduct are now raising serious questions just days before his execution. Robertson is set to die on October 16th for the 2003 death of his 2-year-old daughter, Nikki, but now his attorneys are pointing to those new details. They say it warrants a new trial, and a new Dateline NBC podcast includes Nikki's grandfather, who says his family, not Robertson, decided when to remove Nikki from life support. Robertson's lawyers argue that decision violated his parental rights and may have influenced the outcome of this case. They're calling on courts to act before it is too late.
Well, here in East Texas, the 2025 State Fair may be over, but the honors are just rolling in after recording some impressive numbers and drawing in around 104,000 visitors at the East Texas State Fair. The Smith County Commissioner's Court received a special honor, a new rodeo buckle, just like the ones cherished by rodeo kings and queens for their participation. Commissioners also reviewed the fair's impressive economic impact, $28 million, including $995,000 in sales tax revenue for Smith County. So we asked, why is keeping that money local so important?
It's very important, you know. I think only about 12% of our attendees come from out of town, and being a East Texas State Fair, I've been here for 109 years, I believe. It's very important for us to keep that money local and pump it back into local businesses and those that support the community every day, just like we do.
Michael Stoltz added that the rodeo will return next year, along with something new and fun for the whole community.
I wonder what it is.
Till then.
We'll see. All right, let's get check that forecast with Joel this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, the biggest thing that we're tracking right now is that cold front finally ushering in some cooler air. Not quite for today, but for the next couple of days. That's going to be very nice. And alongside that, we're going to have some nice lower humidity. As we time out your day today, we'll be up into the low 80s by noon and upper 80s by this afternoon and evening. I think we do have a shot for 90 degrees once again today, and we're also going to be pretty rain-free. And of course, the humidity is still going to be sticking around as well. We've been very dry, and we will continue to be dry into the next several days. That's why we do have low, moderate, even high-end fire danger, especially across parts of deep East Texas, including Crockett, Nacogdoches, and Lufkin. So definitely be aware of that if you try to burn anything. Your 7-day forecast is a very comfortable one into the next couple of days, and then temperatures rebound into the upper 80s to low 90s. Well, before you go, expect increased security measures at Edgewood and Canton ISD this morning. This comes after a student reportedly made threats targeting two East Texas school districts. Law enforcement and school officials have launched an immediate investigation, and they're working closely together to assess the situation. Both districts have already increased security measures to protect students and staff. The investigation is ongoing.
Well, time is running out for East Texas death row inmate Robert Robertson. He's set to be executed next week for the 2003 death of his 2-year-old daughter, Nikki. But his attorneys say new evidence of judicial misconduct in a podcast, a revelation about who decided to take Nikki off life support, could change everything. They're calling for a new trial before it's too late.
And the government shutdown enters week 2. A new White House memo is raising eyebrows, suggesting furloughed workers might not receive back pay when it's over. Lawmakers are back in Washington today, but there is still no deal in sight. Let's get another look at your forecast before you get ready to head out today.
Yeah, one more look at your 7-day forecast before you go. We got temperatures finally falling into the low to mid 80s for the next couple of days. That cold front will finally set in. It was such a weak cold front that it's going to take a little bit of time for it to kind of catch up. We'll be in the middle to low 80s by Thursday and Friday, and then a ridge of high pressure will be moving in for this weekend and into parts of next week. So we will be back to well above average once again. So we really got to take in these nice fall-like temperatures while we can. But we are tracking another cold front into later next week, and we'll obviously keep you updated on that as we go forward.
Sounds good.
I like what Dana called a lazy cold front.
It is a lazy cold front.
Very lazy.
All right, I'll take this out. In Kansas City, the fans aren't the only ones getting love from the Chiefs. After surviving a nearly fatal accident and 10 knee surgeries, Greg Sowers turned his recovery into something truly special. Handcrafting guitars to help the Kansas City Police Care Team. Now, thanks to signatures from Chief stars like Patrick Mahomes, who's from White House here, and Travis Kelce, those guitars are auctioned to raise funds for officers and families in need. It's the perfect harmony of community, gratitude, and just a little bit of star power, all strumming together to give back.
That is really cool.
Wow.
And I'm so thankful that they lended their signatures. They were cool looking guitars before that. But now, you know, with those signatures, they can go for even more
extra
money.
value.
It was the cherry on top.
It was the cherry on top, and all for good cause, especially when a lot of people are going through tough times. A lot of these, maybe, you know, teddy bears or whatever it may be for kids. Just a little bit of comfort whenever, you know, going through a difficult time can be scary.
I love that. All right. We're so glad that you continued your day with us here on Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus. Don't forget. That's a new word.
Good morning.
Good morning, y'all.
Yes. Don't forget to catch. I put forget and catch together.
Right.
I do that
You made a new
sometimes.
word.
I did.
Oh, yeah. I do that too.
Y'all catch the noon show. It's coming up on CBS 19 and CBS 19 Plus.
Yeah, I can be here for the latest news and weather throughout the day, and here's what's coming up on CBS 19 Plus. We hope you have a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.
Don't forget it.
Don't forget it.